What is going on, ladies and gentlemen of the tribe, and how the devil are we doing? You are looking gorgeous, gorgeous, I tell you. I thought we would do another GAC catch-up because we haven't done a number of them in a while, and I thought I would do the one from Friday night. Now, Friday night, if you are unfamiliar with the tribe's Friday night streams, are usually a little bit different to our average stream, so you'll have to ignore some of the on-screen prompts that come through because they can be a little bit distracting. Anyway, we haven't done it in a while. I thought we'd wrap one up. It was a fun GAC on Friday night. We got to try some fun counters, and I thought it'd be fun to share it with you today. So take a seat, ladies and gentlemen, sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice cup of warm tea, and let's see some classic counters. Coming in first off the bat is a very fun counter that I had been advised to use in this particular GAC. This is going up against Pirate King Hondo, not using OG Hondo. I hear OG Hondo can cause some issues for this particular counter, using the Rex Focus Datacron. Full 501st versus PK Hondo. He does have Silvo. Silvo does have his Omicron and his Datacron and the good Pirate level 6. We're rocking it up with the Rex FDC over here, and I'll be honest, this was clean. This was real clean. It feels like it's going to be incredibly hairy because they've got so much incoming damage, but because of that Rex FDC, we're able to generate a whole bunch of turn meter, and because the enemy team gains so many buffs, it means it ramps the damage of our gas team. Not just gas, but the entire 501st faction are gaining something like 2% offense every time the enemy gains a buff, and they are constantly gaining buffs. So you can see how quickly we start to ramp damage. Even getting through Vane's protection is a bit impressive in my opinion. There we go, completely knocked out Brutus, not a problem at all. Gas sits down. This is where it's a little bit squeaky bum. It's like, are they going to do something nasty to us? Turns out, no, we just generate way too much turn meter. Gas stands up before they even get another turn. We just absolutely destroy Vane. Next up, take out that Captain Silvo. Look at the damage output. Echo over there, throwing out that grenade and just yeet, skeet, deleting Smee and Silvo there, and we're just left with a lone Pirate King Hondo. Now don't forget, Gas 501st, if he is in the leadership, there is absolutely no revives. Not for our team, not for their team. So Pirate King Hondo, even if he had ult, couldn't do anything about it, couldn't bring back his allies, and we are all looking pretty tasty over here. He's still gaining buffs, we're still ramping up our damage. Look at that, 3 buffs there, so that's like 6% offense for the whole team. Let's just keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, keep on going, and bam. 71. I mean, it's not like the cleanest of the clean, but a 71 versus Pirate King Hondo using Gas 501st. Bellissimo. Next up, we are joining the 2% club, Bo-Katan Mandalore, facing off against Boba Fett FDC with Jabba. This is another kind of useful counter to me. I've been umming and ahhing and wondering, where do I get good value out of my Bo-Katan Mandalore right now? Because she doesn't feel like she's toppling those giants she used to. She's not taking out Lord Vader with quite the same level of success as she's used to. And the current Datacron set that's really powerful, I feel doesn't benefit her as much as some other teams. However, this counter right here, I have found to be quite successful, even if it feels incredibly awkward to pull off. It feels like you are on the brink of disaster constantly. I'll be honest, it feels like, oh my god, are we going to die here? Are we going to die? But no, I go after Zam Wessel at the start because I want to get rid of her Omicron, get rid of the bonuses that she's passing to the Jabba the Hutt team. I've gone into Whistling Birds. I was like, okay, well, maybe I can get rid of Boba Fett, you know, throw all those Whistling Birds into Boba Fett so he's got no revive. Boom, boom, boom. See ya, Boba Fett. Good night, Irene. You're done. Next up, we just got Bausch and we just got Dengar. And Jabba. Jabba isn't in the leadership anymore, so it makes it a lot easier to tackle the team. Even though they've got all of that extra defense and stuff, we once again hit that full auto button. Bo-Katan whips out the Darksaber and we're about to have a good time. OG Bo-Katan Kryze is looking a little bit peaky in the back there for a moment, but ultimately not an issue, especially when they don't have a taunt over here. There's no way for them to distract us from just going after the giant slug in the back and throwing some salt on him and having a good time. Do you know what I'm saying? Whistling Birds there coming in, taking out both units at the end. Absolutely beautiful. You know that's what you want to see. Next up, we have got Glat Attack. No Ezra in this comp. He's using a high health Tankcron, and I decide to throw in Bane Sith Fighter. The reason I'm using this guy, Sith Trooper, sorry, is because I've got him at Relic 9 for Fleet, essentially. So I thought, why not try to bump this up? I've got a Datacron over here that's an Attacker-Cron with a boatload of armor pen and crit damage. I find that's actually better than max health, personally. That's just my experience with it so far. I'm relatively certain that we could have just full autoed this. I'm relatively certain we could have just hit the buttons. Now that Sith Trooper has gone, our Bane has just gained a boatload of stats, and that yeet right there, just completely demolishing half the team. And I hit the full auto, and we pray. Now, it does take a little while to get through a Relic 9 incredibly tanky Ahsoka Tano, because she is a galactic legend. She is Relic 9. She has got the 15% for each ally at the start of battle, extra health, and then there's like 115% additional health on the Datacron. She's got a lot of health. So it takes us a little bit of time, but ultimately we do actually manage to chew through her. Bane, to this day, remains probably the best conquest unit, even with Stranger being in the mix of things now, being a really solid unit. I think Bane just has so much oomph behind him when it comes to tackling power and stuff like that, and being able to just throw in what I consider to be a relatively throwaway unit like Sith Trooper. You can argue you can use him with Slacker, but right now Slacker with the FDC, not the FDC, the Datacron for the Alphabetti Spaghetti pilot is incredibly good. I know that one's not going to last much longer, but yeah, I've got... Oh, I even took the wrong crit cron. It could be something to do with the shot counter at the bottom. We shouldn't be using crit damage and protection. It should be using armor penetration and crit damage. I've obviously just thrown on the wrong cron in my haste over here. Good job I checked it. I was like, this doesn't seem to be doing as much damage as I would have hoped. But as you can see, was that 1.7 million AoE drain damage over there from my boy Bane? He's rather impressive. He's an impressive individual. Go on, take her out. 8 armor shreds on Bane, 2.1 million damage. Respectable. Speaking of, we're going up against a Rey team over here. This is Rey, Ezra, Ben, GK, and Sortie. I'm taking in Slacker and the Alphabetti Spaghetti Pilot Cron. I probably didn't need to take in all of these allies. I probably didn't, but I did, because that's how I roll sometimes. I don't know why I used the stealth ability like that. I probably should have just left it, but there we go. Passing it back and forth, just trying to ramp up as much mastery and get that ult meter going, essentially, on Slacker. I'm trying to control Ezra, because Ezra is the most annoying unit out of this entire comp. If he does all of that silly gubbins and he starts healing and putting heal immunity out, it's just frustrating. But hey, we got into ult, we took out Ben and Sortie there, and we're swiping away at that stunned Ezra Bridger Exile. Don't forget, if the unit is stunned, Siphon from Slacker will apply twice. It will double up the Siphon, so you always want to target a stunned unit when you use that second special, if at all possible. Not the cleanest in terms of banners, but a one-tap sometimes is all you need. Next up, we decided to do silly buggers things. I don't know why we decided to do this. This is a Traya comp with C and Vader. I was supposed to use a Darth Vader cron here, but honestly, I don't think it would have helped too much. We also didn't have the Rex FTC, so we couldn't use, the Nihilus level, I think it's a level 6 on that particular Datacron. But yeah, this was a total mistake. I shouldn't have done this. It was also an interesting comp, shall we say, from the Starkiller Stranger team over here, because it's got a combination of Visas and Barriss, when normally you'd see like Visas Cal. But hey, we don't judge. We just thought we'd give it a try. At the start, I was feeling quite hopeful. I was like, oh, okay, this might be okay. This could not be too bad. But then they start focusing on the wrong units, and they take out units, and then the Star Destroyer. I can speak. Like, don't worry about it. I can speak. Just gets pulled out of the sky. And Stranger just uses so many turns. He's just, look at, I think he gets an insta-kill. Yeah, there's the Star Destroyer coming down, and then the double tap. Starkiller is just an absolute menace right now. I don't know why I bothered to keep playing here. I was like, yeah, I don't think we're going to reach ult or anything like that. We've got heal immunity, a locked heal immunity at that. We're not really gaining enough ult turn meter, and Maul is Maul. So yeah, that was a mistake. We didn't lock that one in, obviously. But hey, sometimes you do silly stuff and win silly prizes. So instead we decide to go with Old Faithful, Queen Amidala with Shakti and Echo. Oh, am I not using Shakti and Echo? Maybe I'm using Keller and Beck and Kiadi Mundi, apparently. I don't remember what I used for this comp, but we're going to find out here live together. I'm pretty sure that Queen Amidala is going to be fine. So, Here we go. Queen Amidala is still absolutely fantastic. You know, I know, what did she come out, like April last year, May last year, something like that? Absolutely phenomenal unit. We just went straight in, that mass assist taking out Maul at the start. Yes, they got the revive. It doesn't really matter because we are going to take them out once again any second now. The only thing to be concerned of is if you accidentally kill Barriss, I guess. But once we took out Maul for the second time, I decided to take out Visas because she can do that really irritating thing where she just resets her cooldowns very, very quickly and gets the revive back off. What a hit from Ki-Adi-Mundi over there. And then just a giant AoE. The boys are back. Queen Amidala is such a safe counter, I feel, to Stranger right now. Really, really valuable. I'm going to keep that in my back pocket. Next up, we've got Old Republic. I love the fact that I can use the Old Republic right now, thanks to Zalbar's Omni, and take on things like Finzori. Finzori, double Omicron with the HK-47 FTC on the enemy side, so it means that we're going to start with Fear because there is a Poe element to that Datacron that is actually really, really powerful. So we go full auto. We have a little bit of an unfortunate circumstance where Zalbar gets that buff immunity, which is incredibly frustrating. I think I'm going to have to remod him for boatloads of tenacity or something like that, because I can't be having my boy going in there and getting buff immunity. It nearly cost us a round before. Anyway, we completely demolish it in 60 seconds for decent banners. I like it. Next up, we've got Baylan taking on the Mars attack. This is where he threw his Hondo. So OG Hondo in the lineup over here. And I don't often get to use Baylan anymore. So it was nice to have the opportunity. Oh, goodbye. The damage output is kind of nutty on this team, I will be honest. Quigold is another incredibly tanky unit, so being able to chew through him in just a couple of attacks is rather nice as well. I think we actually just leave the Hondo to get Super Hondo mode going, and we still just absolutely demolish him. I mean, Baylan is still such a great team. I love Baylan. Lots of fun. That OG Hondo there, I think he's got the Hondo Cron as well. Obviously, lots of survivability, but I don't think he can take on a whole army of mercenaries. Not by himself, Hondo. You probably should have tried to make a deal or something like that. But there we go. Got it done. 64 banners is pretty sweet. Jedi Master Mace Windu on the chopping block, and we decided to use Malgus. Unfortunately, at the start, they immediately take out my Bastion. It made me a little bit upset with them. Truth be told, I was a little bit peeved. I was like, seriously? Come on. So we go for the big hit on... actually, Jocasta knew she had that deflective ward, so we weren't able to do that good damage that we wanted to do with the Malgus special. So I decided to throw it on Mace. We did really good damage to him, truth be told. They've got a lot of crit damage rocking over there. But I don't think ultimately it's going to matter. I'm pretty sure that this team is going to be quite comfortable over here. I want to take out that Mace and then start focusing on people like Jocasta, because we don't want her causing all sorts of issues, lowering our max health and all that sort of gubbins. As you can see, she is a little bit of a liability. Over there just slapping away at the old lady herself. I do actually get that Temple Guard out of fear with the AoE shock, but overall it's not too bad. Yes, not great for banners, not ideal. Probably should have used stuff like Traya for this, but of course we wasted that team doing that stupid Starkiller comp. I don't know why we were doing that there. But hey, Friday nights, like I said, they don't always have to make sense. Alright, okay, so Jocasta is nearly gone, and if you don't know, a Malgus team just kind of bugs out the Jocasta team. So she never does the AoE Big Boomer. I don't know if that's on CG's radar for something to fix. I hope not, because it gives us a nice reliable counter for this team. Although maybe Jedi Master Mace Windu could probably use some little love, because he's not exactly phenomenal, even though he can be certain stranger comps and stuff like that. But hey ho. Anyway, so it's just down to the ads now, so nothing really to worry about over here. Dapper is not going to do too much issues to our team. The dodge. The dodge from the big hit is just rude. It's just artificially dragging out this battle. One of the issues I do have with this Mace team is that Ayla and Temple Guard, incredibly tanky. They just take so long to work down. That heal immunity is coming in clutch because she's just recovering health and protection all the time otherwise. And here we are, just stuck doing basics and basics and basics and basics, and missing once again is just rude. And you can see, like, the ratio of protection to health is it's just fully healing. This is such a frustrating battle to watch, isn't it? It's like, come on, guys, just give it up already. Give it up. I'm hoping we actually go after and take out Temple Guard in a second. Come on. Ah, looks like Ayla's going. There we go. We got rid of her. And it's just... Look, we've only got a minute left. 55 seconds left on the timer. And it's been 3 people for about 2.5 minutes, I think. But hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. It is a big team. It is a big investment to get Mace and stuff like that and throw the Omicrons on the Conquest unit and all that. We got it. Wasn't great for banners. But hey. Fleet. It is a thing. We've got R10 mirror match Levy set up over here. Unfortunately, I just won the coin flip. So I was like, oh, okay. I guess we win. I guess we win. I did, I believe, take it as a reinforcement, the TIE Reaper, just in case. So the TIE Reaper, if you don't know, is a good way to throw the favor in a mirror match where you lose the coin flip. You'll gain that additional TM back because if there is... Oh, I didn't actually. Oh, I did. Oh, no, I didn't. Apparently, I just thought, screw it, we'll just hope that we win. That's okay. That's okay. But if you want to not play like a drunk scribe, you should probably take in I think it's the TIE Reaper, so that you can essentially gain turn meter whenever units are destroyed. That's very useful to try and flip the turn meter in your favor. If they're going to beat you to ult in a Levy mirror match, it's really unfortunate. You don't want that happening. So he comes in with his own scimitar, but at this point it's already too late because I've already brought out my scimitar. I've gained more turn meter than he has, so I'm going to win the ult race. And if you win the ult race 99 times out of 100, you are going to win the rest of the battle, even on full auto when the game does not play very well. Like, we should really be focusing on the dagger here, not the Fury class interceptor, but hey, the game doesn't know how to play. That is what it is. Anyway, take out that fleet nice and easy. Next up is Profundity versus Executor. You all know how easy this is. The Rogue One just kind of obliterates Executor matchups in general. You know, it's just the Rogue One is the punishing one of the Profundity fleet. It is phenomenal. You could probably actually go in full auto and still win this, but I do play it manually just for the sake of banneroos. I don't think you actually need to even call it in the Rogue One, but sometimes I like to actually play with my units in this game that we all play far too much. Anyway, you don't even need to focus down the punishing one. Truth be told, you're probably better off going after something like the Razor Crest rather than the punishing one, because it does more things to disrupt the field. I guess we go full auto once again. I'm having fun with my full auto icon apparently on this Friday night stream. It's tradition, I guess. It's tradition. By Xanadu Blood. The Xanadu Blood is an annoying unit as well because it does provide additional damage output, I think against breached units or something like that. But anyway, we take away their capital ship by using our ultimate, and that is definitely all she wrote for this particular fleet match. Go on, just the Razor Crest left, saving the best to last apparently, and we swarm through it. 76, decent banners. Finally, the most annoying fleet on the enemy defense, I would probably say at this point, Home One. Home One with the B-Wing, kind of like Profundity with the Rogue One. It's just a little bit annoying. They just take so many turns. And Executor isn't really the best counter. You're better off using something like Profundity, but as we saw, I used the Profundity to take out the Executor because that felt like a more valuable use of my Profundity. I like to go after the Raven's Claw, particularly if I'm using the Executor lineup, and the reason for that is with the Raven's Claw in the enemy team, if they've got Foresight, they're going to be ignoring taunts, which means they'll get around your Houndstooth, and that is something you really don't want them doing when you're using an Executor matchup. So I take out the Raven's Claw as quickly as possible if I am able to. Some people run Biggs in the starting lineup, and that makes it harder to get rid of the Raven's Claw. But once he's out, it should be plain sailing. Once again, we're going full auto over here, and they reinforced with the wrong ship, because the AI, once again, is dumb. But also, I can't really blame the AI when it's me that's choosing to go on full auto, I guess. Oh, my lord. Still, Home One is a really good fleet now. It's a really good fleet. Even offensively speaking, it can take out a lot of good things. The only reason I don't use mine, per se, is because my units like Biggs and Wedge, they have got very low levels of relic investment, and I don't feel like the fleet is up to snuff in my account. 71. Next up, we've got the R9 Lord Vader with R9 Scorch and R8 on the rest of the Darkside clones using an Attackacron. I decide to go in with the old faithful Leia Organa. Leia Organa over here just to try and take out this team because we don't like their faces. So I'm trying to get rid of Apo at the start because Apo is well, he's basically the annoying unit. You want to get rid of him unless you're using like a JML setup, and then you want to get rid of Disguised Clone Trooper first because of the additional damage that he does when he's targeting a unit that has got Order 66. Taken out Apo over there. Now I'm going after Disguised Clone Trooper because aforementioned additional damage that he can do. Easy money so far. We are walking over this team, passing over the what is it? Keen stratagem from Drogon over there to Leia. I think we're using a Tankcron here. I have a feeling we're using a Tankcron, and I'm not sure if that's actually the best thing to use with Leia. If you're using her offensively like this, we're probably better off going ahead and using an Attackacron or something like that. We've got Order 66 on poor Drogon. If we lose him now, he's not going to get the revive. Let's hopefully not lose him though. Scorch being incredibly tanky is a thing, but we're just down to Lord Vader now, so it's pretty clear that Leia is going to be rather victorious here against Dad. Against Dad. 65 banners as well, not bad. Next up, we are going to grab our JMK to take out Queen Amidala. We had quite a lot left, offensively speaking here, so I thought, why not just try and do some good stuff versus Queen Amidala? Look at that, just Queen Amidala dead before she took a turn. That's exactly what I like to do. I should really cleanse past scribble. Why didn't I cleanse? It might be something to do with the 27 shots. Now, granted, I did not take 27 shots. Some of those were community shots as well. But, you know, it goes to show, playing GAC whilst inebriated doesn't always lead to the best of choices. It might be fun, but you will lose some GACs. All right, so take out Shakti. Honestly, at this point, this team is basically dead. It's done. It's gonzos. We took out Queen Amidala before she even did anything. There's nothing really left on this team that's going to cause us any issues now, especially now that he doesn't have Padawan Obi-Wan. We've got 3.5 minutes over here to get through Master Qui-Gon Jinn, and we did it in less than 10 seconds. So, easy money. 65. Next on the board, we're going to be using our Reaver, the Inquisitorius, going up against Saw over here. Always important to get that AoE ability block out at the start, I feel, versus Saw in particular. Taking out the base Malgus, we are using a Healercron over here. Stopping them from being able to heal is incredibly valuable. But as you can see, they didn't really get a chance to do much of anything, truth be told. We took them all out in 30 seconds. I know Bo-Katan is just hanging on there by a thread. In fact, he could potentially even just die straight up from burning. I don't think he's going to do that, though. I think we're probably just going to hit him around the face a little bit and take the win. I think Drunk Me is pontificating to the screen right now. Sorry, I'm watching my reaction and I seem to be having a great time. 64 banners there. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is all she wrote. 18-10 was my final score. We shall see how our opponent, Kimasabi, got on. And here was the final result. 17-21 for our friend Kimasabi. He dropped a couple of battles on the front wall. Lord Vader, for some reason, gave him tons of difficulty. 4 battles versus Lord Vader. 3 battles versus Stranger. Let me just hide this over here. This is, in my opinion, the ideal Stranger comp. Barris with Cal. I'm using an Attackacron here. I could have used a Barriscron with a boatload of health, but I quite like the Attackacron. Either way works, in my opinion. And then, boop, bada boop, bada boo. On the back wall, did we get any holds? We did. Pirate King Hondo got a hold with OG Hondo. We had the Rey on the back wall. I'm testing out this Jedi Consular Cron with Visas Mar because I don't have Cal and we don't have Ezra available. I figured, let's test some stuff with Rey. Definitely not going to be using that team going forward. It didn't really do anything this week. What else? No holds in the North Wall. We threw on Seer Malicos on defense because I thought I save quite a lot of GLs for offense right now. Yes, it can take out some good stuff, but let's just test it on defense. See if it does anything crazy. I threw in Crew and I threw in Mara Jade. Don't think that's an ideal setup either. Crew I think is fine. Mara Jade definitely something that I need to swap out. And then Jedi Master Mace Windu and stuff that basically didn't do anything, which is a shame. Fleet then, did he drop on Fleet? He did actually drop versus, not Executor, Negotiator, which is surprising. I suppose he only had Profundity and probably had to try and split that. But there we go. A successful win for us versus Kimasabi over here. 17-21 was his end score. He must have had a little bit of issues there with Lord Vader for some reason. And Stranger, of course. Stranger can be a real nightmare if you let him get away with it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you do enjoy these GAC catch-ups, I will continue to do them. They have been quite popular in the past. So let's see what happens. Give me some comments in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.